Oh, it's a little Chow that's doing a hang in there. All this stuff's getting heavy. I'll dump what I don't need. Oh, okay. Channel points under the channel. Can you just end the stream? Yeah, good luck getting that much, buddy. I just put it in there as a joke, honestly. I would have emotes, but I've been kind of lazy and not been working on any. Everyone's favorite journalist reporter, Amy Rose, is hot on the scoop. I'm heading out. You've been fabulously helpful. Already? Before you go, Espio, I want to give you your presents. My presents? You're both too sweet, thank you. Vector, it seems we have more guests. Amy, there you are. Don't challenge me, I'll try. You found any leads yet? Oh, the detective pair needs help from the birthday girl? She knows everyone's allowed to be sassy on their birthday. This tip is just too juicy to ignore. I'll see you all around. Don't worry, Sonic. I'll be the one to avenge you, and quick. But how are you gonna leave? The door to the next car is locked. Oh, you doubt the birthday girl? The birthday girl has a master key. Right, but the birthday girl gets the birthday key. Of course, it's a birthday privilege. I'll solve this key for anyone else. Bye! Amy may be hasty, but she's thorough. Now, what are you two doing? Looking mighty suspicious, I say. I'm the detective, so I can't be the murderer. And I'm, making sure things go well. Things aren't going great. Not sure if you've forgotten, but there was a murder. Well, I mean, besides that. Besides murder? My social skills. Non-existent. Wow, I can't believe this is representing every Sonic fan in existence. Why is it an alligator and narwhal here? It's an alligator and apparently a chameleon. They're both Sonic characters. Apparently. He's a chameleon! I'm Vector, the butcher. I'm licensed to handle raw meat. In the library. Do they run fast? Apparently, Espio, the chameleon, is a ninja. I don't know what Vector does. And I'm Espio, the poet. Ah, poetry! A resonant message from poet to reader meant to challenge our delicate perspective with the most rhythmic of prose. Can I hear some? Sure, Teardrops in the spring. Can you hear me sing la 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 dee 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 dee? Is that it? I have more if you would like. Cherry blossoms in the spring. I'm satisfied for now, thanks. At least he's rhyming, I suppose. I mean, if you want to say it like that, Amy also has 3 letters in her name. Simon and I are here to establish both of your alibis. Can you walk us through what happened after Amy had everyone leave the dining car? Ah, sure, it's simple. We just explained this to Amy, actually. When we were all sent off, Rouge, Blaze, Shadow, and Sonic all passed through this library car. Where Amy told me an Espio to say. I promptly picked a book off the shelf and made myself comfortable. Vector got bored, so he left to see what Knuckles was up to in the saloon car. Alright, that checks out. Yep. Where was Rouge? We happened to see her lipstick stain on a cup at the saloon car. Rouge came over to the library car, seemingly looking for something. Then she went to search the saloon car. Alright, that makes sense so far. She came back shortly after. We heard her shout, "No way," at the brochure stand over there. But she leapt back to the casino car before Shadow came through and locked the door. I wonder what she found. She's obviously been on the hunt for something. After Rouge left, Shadow walked through the casino car, then entered the library car and locked the door behind him. More importantly, why has Shadow been locking doors? Shadow walked through the library car to the saloon car, where Knuckles and I were playing games. He insisted on showing us up at Super Monkey Ball. I got so engrossed by the rolling monkey action, I hardly noticed when Shadow left the saloon car. I guess he walked through the library car to the casino car, again locking the door behind him. Then returned to the lounge car where he was meant to be stationed. When Vector came back, we realized Knuckles locked the door to the saloon car. We were stuck in the library car. That's when this train sped up. We were worried about the bookshelves falling on us, but we got through it alright. But then how did Sonic get to the dining room? We sat here until Amy arrived asking questions. She's the one that told us someone murdered Sonic. And yeah, that's all that happened. With all these locked doors, seeing Vector or Espio couldn't have left the library car to the saloon car. Thank you both for your cooperation. We're just gonna peek around and return with any questions. Return with any meat, I'll chop it up for ya! And if you'd like to be serenaded with a poem, I got you covered too. Thanks, guys. The alibi seems solid enough, but we should still search for clues. What we're looking for is any evidence that proves that what they're saying is true. We need to confirm Vector's reason for leaving his post and determine if Espio was actually in the library car reading. Tall task, but we can do it. Let's get to the bottom of this, Tails. Absolutely! Shadow supposedly walked through the library car before going to the saloon car. When Shadow left the library car, he locked this door on his way out. There's gotta be a reason he's doing this. Should we make a note of it? Yeah, I do believe we should. Shadow's luck is added to your inventory. Aw, poor thing. That arm is really struggling cleaning up this car. To be fair, I wouldn't want to clean up all this mess either. Let's just leave it alone to do its thing. Yeah, probably for the best. Let's just take a pause and sit for a second. These shirts are very comfy, so plush. Puts you right in the mood to read. Makes me want to take a nap, personally. In fact, maybe I'll rest my eyes a bit. It's like, no, don't fall asleep. There's been a murder, remember? If I had a ring for every time a murder ruined my nap time, I would have one ring. Why do you need to justify Vector leaving the library? Does he look like the reading type? I don't know, I guess because everyone was like supposed to stay in their stations and he left for a reason. A child hangs precariously from a tree branch. The large text below reads, "Hang in there." Wow, I really needed to see this. This little child's hanging there, refusing to use his wings to fly to safety, because choosing the hard way is often the most rewarding. That's beautiful. If this child can stick to his principles and find strength, then I can too. There's no way there was that much thought put into this poster. But good on you, Tails. Ooh, brochures! There are travel destination ideas here, like amusement parks, caverns, hotels, restaurants. Oh! Slime, look at this. There's a couple of maps here. Need to be a map of the library car. Books are categorized by genre, which are listed here. I love a good overhead map. Let's take it. Library map is added to your inventory. Should you take this brochure by the cave too? Look, there's stalactites. Nah, leave it. Well, yeah, that's fair. Nobody shares my fondness for caves. Lock that supposedly Shadow has been placing on multiple doors of the train. An overhead map of the layout of the library. Shelves and tables included. Why is there a hidden desk right here? Weird. Now this is a chair right here. I guess this is the fireplace. Here's a brochure stand. There's walls. 2 tables, 1 hidden table, and another table in the back. Ooh, more stuff to click. Wow! I wish I could stop and look at all these books, but Sonic needs me. No time to rest. Right, let's move on then. Well, I mean, a little peek wouldn't hurt. Scavenging through all the book titles excitedly. Like a kid in a candy shop, or in this case a genius in a train library. That's odd. I know some books have fallen out of the floor and everything, but every book on this shelf is in alphabetical order, but this one. It's the user guide to the Mirage Express, the train we're currently on. Think someone find it on the ground and put it back? Maybe, but it is interesting. Let's make a note of this. Mirage Express manual is added to your inventory. Oh. I think we found enough clues. Let's go interrogate Vector and Espio to find out what really happened. Now I want to read more things. About the manual, Mirage Express has many features and capabilities. Doesn't seem to mention how to drive the train, which would have been neat. Oh, what do we got? Chaos Cola. Check out our book club. Book of the month, Gone Gal. What's this bright red book? Oh, yuck. This reeks of the evil scientist, Dr. Eggman. Yep, this is Dr. Eggman's autobiography and recipe book. What kind of recipes? Who cares? I wouldn't trust any book he's written. It's weird this is even here. Maybe people just appreciate an omelet. You may not be wrong. Dr. Eggman and omelets. Let's check the trash can. Hate to say it, but there's nothing here. I really thought there'd be something here. Slimer, you said there was nothing in the trash bin. No, I'm alright. I'm sure there'll be something hidden in the next trash bin we find. You really think so? Yeah, you just gotta stay optimistic. Yeah, okay. These trash bins hide a secret, I'm sure of it. You're pretty unconventional, but I like that. That's supposed to be a compliment. A globe of our marvelous planet. I haven't traveled around much. The islands are fun and all, but I'd love to visit some of the countries. They're a lot of fun, honestly. Plenty of wonderful people and shops. The food can't be beat either. Ah, sounds perfect for a vacation. I was talking about Spagonia if you've ever been there. I have actually. If you're ever visiting, be sure to stop at the university and say hi to Professor Pickle. He'll tell you everything about the area. Makes one scrumptious sandwich. I'll keep that in mind, thanks. This group knows everyone has been everywhere, haven't they? Is that what Unleashed is? Spagonia? So many books on the ground. I actually had time to pick them all up. I sadly have no interest in picking up these books. A lot of these were knocked up by the train speeding up. But Rouge pulled a lot of these out too, searching for something. What reckless behavior. I feel sorry for the poor books. The spines are creasing. They're opening too far. This kid feels empathy for everything. Did you bring me any meat to chop? Maybe a butcher, but they confiscated my meat cleaver before getting on the train. You actually tried to bring a knife on the train? I'm a man of authenticity, Tails. Without a knife, I'm just a chef in a ketchup-stained apron, not a butcher. I think if you had a knife on you, we definitely think you were the murderer. What if I hid the knife? You know, I'm not the biggest fan of this line of thought. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, I can kind of see a little bit of it. Actually, I'm off duty for the murder mystery is more important. Why would you tease him like that? You've made a fool. Look, son, you've made him a fool. Now I'm the fool. Maybe. Oh no, I already went through this option. Fancy a poem? How about a poem about trains? Locomotive in motion. I think I lost my lotion. The window shows the ocean. Oh wait, there's my lotion. Thanks. I actually really like that one. Huh? What would it be? How about space? I made it up to space with my beloved antique vase, but mistake in my haste dropped the vase from my embrace, so my antique I must now replace. What caused you to drop the vase? Don't read too deeply, it's just a poem. He hasn't thought it through, has he? Start interrogation. So, the two of you don't believe us, eh? It's not that I don't trust either of you, but I wouldn't be a proper detective without examining the validity of your alibis. Slime and I are here to confirm two things. Why Vector left to go play games with Knuckles, and its Espio really was reading the library car. Vector, we'll start with you. Why'd you leave the library car to visit Knuckles? We're prepared to prevent evidence if need. Oh, that's easy, I got bored. You know what, Daff, you were right. What? I wasn't entertaining him enough, it seems. Vector enjoys being social. Plus, you were instructed to mingle. I remember the arcade machine is a saloon car, so I figured I'd go check it out. This seems to line up with the information we gathered with Knuckles. And that brings our attention to you, Espio. Rouge entered the library car, found something, then left. You said you immediately started reading, but were you actually reading the entire time you were in the library car? Of course he was! Once Espio starts reading, he doesn't stop till he's done. I've seen it happen. It must have been a good read. What was the book? Espio doesn't owe you that, detective. Let the man live. What if it was embarrassing? What kind of things do you think I read? If you won't talk, I have a hunch on what that book might be. Slime, could you help me out? Alright, Slime, what book do we think Espio may have been reading? The menu! No. Mirage Express manual. A manual? You think Espio was reading instructions? What argument could you possibly have to support this? Woo. There are books scattered about around the floor, sure. The remaining books on the shelves were all in alphabetical order. All except this manual, meaning someone at the very least picked the manual up and put it back in the incorrect place. This lack of attention to detail isn't normally like you, Espio. Hey now, I won't have you insulting my pal like that. Calm down, Vector. I know you mean well, but I can handle myself. Apologies, Espio. A butcher and a poet, friendship can form anywhere. That is indeed the book I was reading, the Mirage Express manual. Trains are cool. In that case, we'd like to ask you a few questions about the manual, Slime, if you don't mind. Could you ask Espio some questions about the manual? Just flip to a page and ask away. Oh, I see. Quiz Espio about the manual to prove he read it. Which page should I quiz him on? Page 362. Okay, what efficient and extremely accurate technology was installed to assist in keeping the train spotless? Robotic arms. During events, they can perform a variety of tasks and are responsible for cleaning up trash and messes afterwards. I remember the conductor saying the train can clean itself. Though I have a feeling the train company just didn't want to hire any janitors. The robotic arms can also detect weapons and explosives being brought into the train, ensuring passenger safety. Seems like Espio aced that question. Slime, hit it with another one. Okay, which page do I choose? 231. What is the Mirage Express's cancellation policy? No refunds and you will be charged a no-show fee. This does not apply if you're over the age of 65. Gee, the person who made this rule must have been over 65. Last one, Slime. Let's see if Espio can go 3 for 3. Gotcha. Which way should I pick last? 402. Also implemented to support conductor duties and ease general train obligations. An intelligent data processing system. It works in tandem with the conductor to assure smooth travel for guests. I remember this. The train has an autopilot, but it can't access its full suite capabilities without the conductor present. Now, did I pass your little test? No. I say but no. Haha, just goof and you passed. I completed your test with ease. All my efforts were only to please, but you joked and japed, said no to my face. Now I wish you were riddled with fleas. Did you just rhyme a curse at me? You've clearly read the manual. Those answers feel far too specific to be guesses. And you both had a nerve to question my buddy like that. Don't we want to be supporting folks who read? You have to admit though, reading the entire time a murder occurred does sound a bit suspicious, even if true. But he answered all my questions so calmly, that's very impressive. No, I understand everyone's cautious attitudes. Vector was the only one to see me reading after all. My alibi is hard to substantiate despite telling you the truth. He just insulted you in limerick, that's almost impressive, yeah. Wait, can't Espio just read minds? Can't you just read what I was looking at? Oh well. I guess we're not bringing that up. Oh, you definitely read through the manual, so I suppose we can... Espio, is that true? Vector was the only one to see you reading? Yes, that's correct. Problem? Frankly, I don't believe that can be true, and we have evidence to back it up. Slime? No, it's supposed to be on the spot. Okay, Slime, think. Okay, Slime, think. We should have a piece of evidence linked to someone who also saw Espio reading, but what? Shadow. I think he's saying he's training lesson read body language. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. Shadow should have been here. Shadow's log. Please pray tell, what does this have to do with anything? We're up, Slime. Let's get our argument together. Ooh. Shadow walked through the library car to get to the saloon car, where he set the original high score on the arcade machine. Yeah, but I ended up beating it. It wasn't high score, it was the high score along. Crux are natural gamers. Espio says he also saw Shadow enter the library car, but he's mentioned nothing about Shadow's return. He only mentioned that Vector came back. When Shadow left Knuckles and Vector in the saloon car, Espio was fully seated reading his book for a good while at this point. We know Shadow had to walk back to the library car when he left the saloon car. There's absolutely no way Shadow and Espio didn't notice one another on Shadow's return trip. I mean, it was a simple slip-up. I was just fully immersed in my book that I didn't notice Shadow. You're telling me the sound of doors opening and locking wouldn't have caused you to look up? Well, you see... I can sense Espio's desperation here. Defending the argument that he was reading the entire time isn't easy. So if you didn't see Shadow returning from the saloon car to lock all the doors, then at that moment, were you really in the library car at all? But how would Espio leave? Shadow locked all the doors and no one saw Espio in the saloon car. It's a mystery, my dear Slime. One that I would love for Espio to solve. You've got to believe me. That cool demeanor is vanishing. I was so involved in my book I didn't notice Shadow pass back through the library car. Honest. When Vector returned, he went out to tap me on the shoulder to get my attention. Yeah, I think I remember doing that. I must avenge my friend's death, so I'll ask you again, Espio. If you weren't there for Shadow to see you reading, then how did you leave the library car? I wasn't. I didn't... Why didn't this seem right to me? Tails definitely feels like he's on something, but I don't see it. Was Espio simply sitting reading? Or did he somehow vanish to not notice Shadow's return to the library car? What should I do? Now that makes sense. Defend Espio. And to make sure our guests are taken care of, I have to speak up. Tails! We have a piece of evidence that can answer all our problems. Alright, my fellow associate, lay it on me. What piece of evidence shows Shadow and Espio couldn't have seen one another? A library map. Alright, now let's get my thoughts in order. The library map? Oh, I see. See the X's? They're right across from one another, a straight path. If Shadow walked down the straight path, there's a way Espio and Shadow couldn't have seen one another. Looks like you have to point out exactly where on the map you mean. Where could Espio have been for Shadow to not see him? At this table. Interesting. That's where I was sitting reading my book. I can second this. When I returned from the saloon car, Espio was in the same spot. That confirms it then. You see, Shadow and Espio couldn't have seen one another from the spot because the bookcase is in the way. There's no way Shadow could have seen Espio, or vice versa. It makes a lot of sense why you never mentioned Shadow's return, Espio. There's just no way you would have seen him. I apologize for losing my cool back there. It felt like I was grasping despite telling the truth. But I'm glad you all believe me now. Your alibi isn't the most airtight, but I have no further points. Thank you both for answering all our questions. We did it! Another pair of alibis? Validated! Too many locked doors to worry about, but I'm glad everything straightened itself out in the end. Well, I'm exhausted. I'm gonna crash here for a bit. These chairs are so comfy. Likewise, I could use a breather. Sadly, our work isn't done. I have plenty of questions for Rouge, and especially Shadow. Oh, it seems the door to the next car is open. Amy must have kept it open when she passed through earlier. And that's our cue to leave. See you later, Vector and Espio. Give him heck! And if you need any meat chopped up, say the word! I keep my poetry sharp for you both. A murderer is on the loose, while doors are getting locked. Tick-tock goes the clock, or our heroes are in the caboose. That one doesn't even rhyme that time. At this point, I'm feeling pretty confident in our detective abilities. We're really doing this. Come on, Slime, let's see what's next. Coming! Are tags enough to qualify as a poem? Good question. It was 1221 instead of his usual 1212. Ah, I see. You sure you don't want to stay and look at all the great books a little longer? The mystery calls. Okay, the investigation continues.